All right, now basic part 6. You guys are on a roll here. We got another hole. Uh-oh, we got something new here. We can't use just our basic rectangles to kind of get this stuff going. But should still be a pretty easy one for us. So we're gonna get part 6 going here. So we're gonna go back to our Fusion in our basic parts, Learn 360. Save my file as my new document. I'm gonna call this one part 6. Then create my component. And I'm keeping you guys in suspense. We haven't talked about why we do the components yet, which is going to be very important when we get to putting our assemblies together. But for right now, just keep making your components. Part number 6, and we're off to the races. So I'm going to add my sketch. I'm going to put it on my front plane. Again, remember, it doesn't matter necessarily what plane you go on. If you're going to do additive method or subtractive, I'm going to do subtractive again, kind of a combination of the two to get these going here. Start with my rectangle. Ideally, in your orthographic, your two-dimensional, you want to get as much of it done as you can in 2 dimensions, then extrude out. I find that seems to be the easiest for you. So for this one, we're looking at, this is a 5-inch wide, and our height on this one, looking at our dimensions, is 4 inches. So this is a pretty good size shape. So there is my rectangle there. I'm going to go ahead and get to my shape here. I'm going to right click and do the press pull. Give you guys a little bit different here. I'm going to push pull this shape out. It's going to be a 2-inch depth for it. We're going to hit OK, and there is our overall shape. So if we're going back here, here's our overall shape. So now we have to cut this triangular side out and cut the hole out of it. So our first thing we want to do is cut out from here. So we're going to get to our front face. Now one of the things that we can do here is I'm just going to go right to the front face, add another sketch, put it right on this front face here for us. And what we want to do is we're just going to do a line tool. So this is kind of how we're going to make this. So I'm just going to create my line tool. I'm going to start a line at the top. I'm going to drag my line to the bottom here, make sure I get it connected from end to end. So there's my line tool. I'm going to dimension this out now. So I'm going to dimension out from this point to this point. Is going to be, I'm looking at my shape here. What is it? It is 0.51, 1.5. So we're going to dimension that out 1.5. Well, that was pretty close. Again, I'm getting pretty good at this stuff. So we're dimension that side out 1.5, and then we will hit enter there. So that's 1.5, and then our bottom dimension is going to be, what are we looking at on the bottom here? So this is 0.51, 1.52, 2.53, 3.54 inches. Okay, so we're going to go back in. We're going to dimension out the bottom, not in a solid line. I'm going to dimension out from this point to this point. Should be 4. Boy, that was actually a pretty impressive line there that I've got. And so now we're going to finish our sketch here. I'm going to go to my home view. So there it is. I am going to then have to push it back 1 inch. So what I am going to do here is I'm going to do my press pull. Press pull. I'm going to push this back in, make it a negative. Negative, it goes back 1 inch. And I'm going to hit the enter key. So there is my shape. So now I've got it on the front here. So if I look at this, we're going back in here and you can see we've got everything here. We just need to cut this hole out. And so looking at this hole, this is going to be a 2-inch hole. And so we're going to put the hole on here. Looks like we are exactly 2 inches across to the center of the hole. And it looks like we're 1.5 inches down. Okay, so we're going to go back in here. I'm going to put a hole right here on the face. I'm going to change the diameter of this hole and make it a 2-inch hole. I'm going to click for my center point to the edge is coming across 2 inches. And from the center point to the top is coming 1.5 inches. And now when we do our hole, remember we want to go all the way through. I'm just going to rotate this around to kind of show you guys here. It currently is not. So this would be a blind hole if we're doing that. Now, if we did this, it's just a flat blind hole. We're going to drag this all the way through. So I'm going to drag it to make sure I get all the way through. So it's going to go the full 2 inches. I'm going to hit OK. And bingo, there is part number 6. Look at this, a thing of beauty. You guys are like absolutely just rocking and rolling with your parts now. So that is part number 6. Save it, give it a milestone. We're good to go.